What's up everyone, I'm Dr. Jacob Wilson. The question today is, should you eat every 2 hours, or some people say every 2 to 3 hours? Well, the answer is yes and no. But before I get to that, if you like this channel and you love this content and you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button. If you want to know how you can contribute to the channel, one of the best ways you can do is share it. Share it with your friends. If you want notification, want to get more content like this, hit that notification button. One of the biggest questions, whenever I talk about intermittent fasting, people will go, you can't intermittent fast and gain muscle. You need to eat every 2 to 3 hours. Do I think there's merit to eating 2 to 3 hours? I do. I do. I think if you look at studies, when you're talking about muscle growth, my brother, Dr. Gabriel Wilson, did his dissertation. He looked at what happened when I eat a meal, how long do I increase muscle growth and when does it stop? He found that it peaks maybe at 1 hour to 2 hours, and by 3 hours, protein synthesis is back down to fasting levels. Now, by that basis, that does suggest that eating every 2 to 3 hours can be beneficial for muscle growth. Now, I do think there's evidence for that, and I do think it can help you gain muscle. So what I would say is there are 2 ways that we can go about that. One issue is, if I eat every 2 to 3 hours, I've got to keep my meals probably smaller. And the reason why is because my calorie load will be too high if I'm eating like 6 large meals a day. So typically people eat with smaller meals. Now, what if someone goes like, I'm super busy, I don't have time to do that. What's a way to get around it? My brother found that a way to get around that is if you eat a meal and then in 2 hours eat branched chain amino acids, then you don't have to eat another meal again for like 4 to 5 hours. So again, you could have breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and between meals have branched chain amino acids, and it mimics that 6-meal response. Now, what I am telling you is, this is a great way to gain muscle. To gain muscle. When we're talking about fat loss, now you can manipulate the fasting period. You've gained muscle. The goal is maybe not as much for muscle, it's more fat loss while maintaining muscle. Now you might lower your meal frequency somewhat, okay? Now, first off, within the context of 2 to 3 hours, if I'm in a mass phase, I recommend still intermittent fasting 5 days out of the week. Which I can't do that, I'm eating every 2 to 3 hours. Yes, you can. Monday through Friday, if you're stopping eating at 9, you might wake up and you eat breakfast. You won't eat breakfast till 9. Then you eat every 2 to 3 hours. Or if you're more of an endomorph and you don't want to eat as much, 3 meals, BCAAs between meals. Now, when you're on a fat loss phase, extend the intermittent fast out, okay? Now, what you're gonna do is, you're gonna intermittent fast for 16 hours. Instead of eating at 9, you might not eat till basically noon or 1. And then you're gonna stop eating at 9. At this point in time, you're gonna lower your meals to 2 meals a day, okay? So you might not eat until 1, you're gonna eat lunch, you're gonna eat dinner, and you're gonna have BCAAs between those meals. And maybe you might do a modified intermittent fast, have essential amino acids in the morning, have your lunch, have BCAAs between, and then have dinner. That is a way to reduce calorie intake. That is a way to increase the fasting window, and studies show that will make us lose fat. Now, what studies have shown is if you reduce the fasting window down to where you're fasting 20 hours a day, that's very hard to gain muscle on. So you might lose more muscle doing that, but it could be a way to lose body fat. So in other words, you're eating 1 meal a day. I would probably limit that to 1 to 2 days a week. So what I'm saying is that you can manipulate meal frequency for growth or fat loss accordingly. More meals for muscle growth, they need to be smaller or larger with BCAAs in the middle. Less meals for fat loss and a longer fasting period. Incorporate them and cycle that throughout the year and periodize it just like you do your training. You gotta have the best of both worlds. Thank you so much, guys. I hope you learned.